Hello, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So let's see. Before we hit the next turn, let's take these battle cruisers here and move them up here to blockade China. I think that should blockade China. East Asia? Or do I have to put them in the Yellow Sea? I'm not sure. But I guess we'll find out. These guys, oh, they're done sinking some French ships. They can go here. As I've launched a naval invasion of Cape Verde, Portuguese, because they joined the war too, and since they don't have any any surface ships, that is the only way for me to gain any any victory points off of them. France has a couple of ships left. These guys can probably let's move them to Stockholm. Actually, no, let's actually put the light cruisers here. Alright. That's in good order. This one has been repaired. Tude is being repaired. That is the Byzantine battlecruiser. Alright. Alright, I guess we're just gonna have to find out if we get a peace treaty with anyone. Not quite yet, it seems. Soviet Union and China are fighting. Empire of Japan and China. I'm not losing any transports. That is good. No peace yet. Yeah, I don't need this many ships to to take that island, it seems. France, China is definitely not taking this. Let's see, do I have to put them in the... I think I have to have them in the Yellow Sea. Again, I'm not sure, but I think that might be the case. Convoy battle. It's Maud and 3 light cruisers versus Requin class battleship. That's a pretty impressive battleship you got there, France. Be a shame if something happened to it. Although it would also be a be a shame if it were to sink my battlecruiser. So there's that. That is a odd-looking duck. Might have to put my light cruisers to use here. Get some torpedoes on target. Invincible. There we go. Get the right silhouette up. 12.3 main belt. 2.7 main deck. 28.3 kilometer main gun range. Cordite 2 and Dunite. That is a that is one of the main gun layouts of all time. It's not terrible though. It's uniquely very French. They are outranging me by a good few kilometers. There we go, Maud has opened fire. And we score the first couple of hits. And we score a flash fire. That was lucky. Did that take all of its ammunition away? No, but most of it. Still has some ammo though. So it could easily decide to just turn those guns against my my light cruisers and delete them. Is it just moving in? Like that, making itself a pretty easy target for Maud. Let's get the launchers on the other side into action as well. Although maybe that will not be needed. There we go. Embla launched her torpedoes. Dragnad, please do not launch torpedoes at Embla. There we go, torpedo hits. And there she sinks. Alright, my battlecruiser is safe. Let's just sink these transports. Alright. Let's just move them in and gun them down. Maud can cease fire. She's got enough ammo. I don't think she's gonna run out, but still. So how long until I get my... I might have them already. The Mark IV 7-inch guns. I have to check. Is that something they really do need? These light cruisers. As I've seen when I've sent them up against enemy DDs. The HE on the Mark III 7-inch guns do not have enough pen, so they end up just partial penning the 0.8 inches of armor plate that DDs have. And the AP has too much pen, so they just overpen and also don't cause any damage. There you go, surrendered both the enemy transports. That's good. They might have been carrying something important, being escorted by a $1 billion battleship. Let's actually offer the French a peace treaty now. As for these battlecruisers here, I'd like to take Jamaica. Yeah, these are some pretty expensive and valuable islands here. It would be better to take them from in naval invasions than having to spend billions worth of war operations taking them from the British. So I think I will do that. Alright. As for what I would like as war operations, from France I would like to take West Philippines. It's only 1.5 billion. It has oil. It has a not very huge port, but decent sized. And possibly Thailand. Bangkok is a pretty big port. From Britain, Singapore. That's a huge port. And also Malaya. Because it's right next to. Because I need bigger ports in this area here. I cannot really have a big fleet stationed on Sumatra because the ports here are just tiny. So that's mainly what I would like to take out, and of course Gibraltar, so I can actually move into the Mediterranean freely. Maybe also northern Egypt if I get enough in war operations. I should. It's almost 1.5 million victory points. Alright, let's go. And the war continues with France. Okay, Burton. But you're not gonna get that piece just yet. US taking bits of Japan. You're not gonna get that piece just yet, Britain, because I'm gonna take some islands from you. Only 5,000 tons. Okay. I think I can take multiple islands here with that fleet. %. Wow, my army has grown. This naval invasion is technically still active. Okay, US is taking almost all of Japan, actually. Interesting. So I guess Japan will soon cease to exist. Portugal is not doing too hot either. Alright, one more month and then I think we're gonna see if it's time to do some designs. So I think it might be time to do some designs here. Oh. Apparently I have a lot of ships here. Maybe you can move to Copenhagen. Except for the light cruiser, I guess. So I don't completely overload Casablanca. That light cruiser can actually move to Rabat. There we go. Casablanca no longer overloaded. And a couple of strikes. And this time I'm invading from Morocco into northern Algeria. Let's see, New Providence. $35,000 tons. I can take most of these. Actually, that should be enough. 29,000 tons here for 8,000 tons required. That should be enough, yeah? I also have Poseidon here. Okay, France, you have one heavy cruiser. Do I dare take it on in a 1v1? Cruiser on cruiser? I mean, it's a pretty good cruiser. Let's make it a 2v2. 2v1. I mean. I guess this was not enough to blockade China. Maybe I need both East Asia and Yellow Sea. Might be the case. Not sure if that's going to be enough to blockade them, but they don't have anything. They have a grand total of 0 ships. Japan, China, and Portugal have just ceased existing as naval powers altogether. It's basically just me and the US. And Greece, actually. Alright. Let's do that battle and then do some refits, I think. There we go. Now I'm blockading China. No peace yet. Okay. You want to keep fighting. 92% because Britain has a cruiser here. Don't have any spare ships. Yeah, I do. One of the new ones. And also the battleship Poseidon. At 27,000 tons. Where did you go to, France, with your ships? Ah, you got another military conflict. Because your people are not very happy. That's fine. This one is still ticking. Still ticking down. Anyway, let's look at some ship designs. First up, the Maud class battlecruiser, because it can now have Mark III 16-inch guns. Being the main thing. What kind of towers do we have available now? Main tower, Advanced Dreadnought Tower 1 is the one we have. Modernization Large Tower 4 has better tower spotting. 24 base, 41 long range accuracy. The accuracy numbers are actually worse. .26 base, 47 long range. Yeah, I think we're keeping the tower. Alright. We're keeping the tower as it is. But we are getting the Citadel 5. Yes. And Barbette 5? Sure. Anything else? Let's see, what's the flash fire chance? 2.4%. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think I cannot get better anti-torp. Nope. That just isn't possible. 49 calibers in length. There you go, 50. 26 kilometer AP range, not bad. And better reload times. Now, I would like to do something with the inner layers here. I'm not sure what I can actually get. .6, that's equal to 26 inches. If I reduce it down to 2, that's equal to 20. That's actually a pretty decent increase in survivability. It's actually not too bad. But what do I have to sacrifice to get that? Definitely something. I need to shave off 500 tons. If I reduce the guns down to base length 45 calibers, still 24 kilometer range, and that shaved off a lot of weight as well. If I go with Cordite 3, 10.6% flash fire chance. That pushes the range back up. How about 16.5? No. Just a little bit more range. Oh, barrel length is heavy. Barrel length is very heavy. Now we're keeping them at 45s, I think. Even though they look kind of weedy with those turrets, but maybe once they're Mark 4s, they're gonna look a little bit bigger again. There you go. 2.5 on the third inner belt. That's not bad. That's pretty good. And that's only a 2-month refit. Now the Bragi class light cruiser, I've got a few of these. I'd like to make them a little bit better. There we go. Mark 4 7-inch guns. I've got some displacement to spare here for these guys. Gear turbines too. Now let's try and keep it a 1-month refit. Unless that's 2.9 million a month. 3.3. Let's keep gear turbines too. Let's up the bulkheads a little bit. Let's improve the hydro. See, tower. I got advanced tower. None of the available towers are any better at all. In fact, they're all worse. So it's the best I can get, I guess. Torpedoes now have a range of 11.3 kilometers. $13.6 if I make them a 24-inch. That's not bad. Okay, we now have some better HE pen on these. That's good. Let's see. Flash fire chance is 2.4%. Now it's 1.4%. 1.1. If I then go up to cordite 3%. That's doable. And we can now pen destroyers out to quite a decent range. 56 calibers. I think that's a bit much, maybe. 55 is better. Let's see, we're to shave off some weight here. Main deck. It's equal to 1 inch. That's equal to 6. equals to 8. There we go. And 7.2-inch guns can go through DDs at, let's see, that's a little bit much. I wanted to make them 7.5s. Just to get the ability to go through destroyer armor at longer ranges. I'll sacrifice that maybe. And sacrifice that. See if I can make them 7.5s. 54 tons overweight. Oh, and now this aft turret no longer fits. Let's put it back here. Fine, 7.3 then is the biggest I can go. And now we can go through destroyer armor with HE, which was the whole point of this refit. And it's only a 1-month refit, so good upgrade for the old cruisers. They can keep serving for a little while longer. Yes. Good. And the thing with these light cruisers, the Bragi class, I've got one that is of the original design with the 1918 refit, and I've got a bunch that are of the Bragi 2 class, which are copies of the 1918 refit. So this refit I just made, which again is a refit of the 1918 refit, it no, it no longer works. It used to work that you could refit the copies of the refit and they would turn into the same class. Ah, that used to work. That used to be so nice. And now I'd basically have to make a like the same refit again, but of the copy. Oh, that stinks. That kind of stinks. Yeah, so I just have to do that again then. Fine. Let's see. What can we do with the Greek ships? Let's start out with Poseidon. It's an old pre-dreadnought. No, it's not a pre-dreadnought. I mean, it's an old, early dreadnought. So almost the same thing. Let's see. Increased beam and increased draft. I need you to go 21 knots. That is the cost of admission here. Turbo electric and oil. Balanced boilers. I can remove this funnel. Standard quarters. Some shafts. Corrupt 3 armor. There's a lot of displacement to spare on this ship. Max AP, no. We're not doing that. I think we're doing balanced, actually. And let's make it not like super explosive. There we go. 3.6 flash fire chance. Torpedoes. Do you have torpedoes? Apparently you do. No, you don't. That's better. Now, let's see. That's what your turrets look like now. Let's have these turrets just mounted so they don't look like they're about to fall off the side of the hull. I can fit you there. Can I fit an extra barbette here? No, not that one at least. That one fits. There we go. That's a slightly better layout. And I can mount a big tower on this. Modernization tower. That is too big. That is also too big. But it's better than what it had. Probably. Modernization Giga Tower. How about reinforced standard tower? Which does seem to fit. Nice. And it even accepts a funnel. Tall funnel 1. There we go. So the fore funnel is a little bit bigger than the aft funnel. Actually, let's put large funnel 2 here. Large funnel 1 there. That looks a bit better. That does look a bit better. Now to reduce some weights. That's a lot of 14.5-inch guns. I think we can safely reduce this inner armor layout. 2 inches on the last belt. That should be equal to 20. That is actually plenty. Let's go a little bit more on the main belt though. As for here, equal to 3. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. We're a little bit light on secondary armament, but that's cool. Yeah. This is not a bad replacement for Harald Hårfagre, which was sadly lost. I think I'm just gonna keep this in the Caribbean to be on station there. Conning tower. Maybe we would like some armor on that thing. 'Cause I keep losing my conning towers. Deck armor is a bit on the light side. This should make up for it on the main deck, though. Turret armor. I would like to have some turret armor. Yes, please. .8-inch casemates. Where are you? Here. Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of guns on this. Let's make these 1.6s. All of them. Very close now. Very close now to getting something that kind of works. I just need to shave off a couple more things here and there. There we go. 1 inch on the 4.5 belts. It's more like an all or nothing kind of thing. It might work. Nope. Could not get a better barbette, which would be nice. The flash fire chance is not too high, but when you got this many turrets, well, yeah. So, what are we up to now on this thing? 8.6 maintenance a month. That's not bad. That's not bad for this many 14-inch guns. And how for the Canaris class battlecruiser? That's a lot of secondary guns. That's a very fast battlecruiser, actually. 32 knots? Yeah, we can keep that. We can keep that top speed. 32 knots with turbines, even. This is not too bad at all. Let's give it basic beam and draft, though. Now, what to do with the main gun setup is okay. I can keep that. They are only 13.3s, though. Mark II. There we go, Mark IIIs. I think I will make them 13.5s. Just because it's a nicer number. And 55 caliber length instead of what it was. Now, let's clean up the decks here. I'm gonna remove some of the secondary weapons. Not all of them. Because it's a refit, I'm not building a brand new ship here. I can get a big pagoda tower. 24 base, 85 long range. 41 long range. '20 base, 39 long range. Let's see, any here with better base accuracy than the big pagoda tower? No. I think the big pagoda is the way to go here. Actually, this one has the same 24 base. There are many that come close, but they don't quite beat it. Actually, the big pagoda tower is very big, though. Big and heavy. So this one is very big too, but it looks more modern. Yeah, I guess maybe that one works. Wish you could sort them by by base accuracy here. Compact, but that's an attractive looking main tower. Okay, let's clear some space on the deck. Yeah, that looks more right for the ship. It doesn't look too oversized. So yeah, we're keeping that one, even though it was technically not the best. Let's see. Anything here with a funnel slot? Yes, if I scroll up. I can get that one. Let's see what kind of funnels we have. I can get that one. Ooh, that looks tiny. That looked very tiny and out of place. That works. That works for me. Let's see. Let's just nestle them in as close as possible. Okay, so we are redoing the entire secondary armament on this. Citadel armor could use some work. Not too convinced about that. I can reduce that range. I can reduce it further because it's very good as is. Actually. And we're going to coincidence range finding and RDF. Keeping standard shells, but increased ammunition. Tube powder, TNT3. Our flash fire chance is now 2.7%. Enhanced reloading, yes please. Alright. Let's go 2 on the third inner belt. There we go. That is decent. And point 4 on the third inner deck. That is also decent. All right, I think we've got something here. We've got a little bit weight left over to add to secondary weapons. What are we doing with the shells here? There we go. Not too bad for 13.5 inch guns. Not quite 14s. I would have liked to have different different main guns on this. It's a 42,000 ton battle cruiser. It should have some decent guns, but it's a refit. I'm not building a brand new ship. Although I almost am, but not in theory. Can we fit that there? Yes. Yes, we can. Make it look like we got one superstructure and not two random towers with a funnel placed in between. There we go. And there we go. Some secondary weapons. I can probably fit some 2-inch guns here and there too, right? Yes. Although not too many places, surprisingly. There we go. 6-inch 50s. That's one light cruiser worth of firepower strapped to either side of the ship. That's not too bad. Let's actually reduce the top speed of this, thus also reducing the cost and reducing the spent displacement. The ship did not like that. In fact, I need to up armor the turrets, the main gun turrets, at any rate. 14 is a bit light, in my opinion. 16 is better. And the turret top armor needs to be there. Superstructure armor is quite heavy though. There we go. Exactly on the weight limit. That's not too bad for a battlecruiser, I think. And this is more like one of those that hunt down cruisers rather than being a more of a fast battleship. Which most of the battlecruisers I have now are more fast battleships. And with those ships being refit, I have filled out my shipbuilding capacity. So I think this is a decent place to leave the episode. And I will just have to do the refit design for the Bragi 2 class, identical to this refit, off camera, because it's just going to be the same thing. And then I guess I will see you back when it's time to actually build new battleships, modern ones, and hopefully get some peace treaties here. Goodbye, and take care.